Hello children, welcome back to the part 2 of our story. Which chapter are we doing? We are doing Colors of Silence. Yes, we read about Satish, his friend Surinder and his father Anant Narayan. So what happened in the part 1, I'll quickly tell you. Satish was not feeling well. He kept falling sick on and off. So his friend Surinder came to meet him and asked him what happened to him. So he said, I have this heaviness on my head and I keep getting a fever on and off. So he was explaining to him. Surinder felt very, very bad, and he also realized that Satish was not able to hear very well. Also, Satish's school had told him that because he was absent for so many days and because he had hearing problem, they had removed him from school and he had to look for the new school. Everything in Satish's life was like a pantomime, that is a drama. Yes, this is what we read in the first part. This was the sad part of Satish's life, isn't it? So one thing I want to tell you children, any of your friend who is physically challenged, who is deaf, dumb, please support them. Please help them, okay? You can sit with them for a little more time and help them to understand the chapters. Okay, so let's start the chapter. Now, here what happens is we are in the 15th point. Beta, you have to go to school and learn. What will you do in life if you don't get education, huh? He asked his son. Now, why did he ask like that? Because when the Satish's school said they can't take him anymore, his father said that you have to go to a new school, which Satish was not happy because everyone is going to tease him. So his father is explaining it to him that you have to go to a new school and get education, isn't it? Satish heard snatches of his words but knew what he was saying. What is snatches? That means parts. He could hear only little of what his father was saying because his hearing capability was going on and off. But he could understand what his father was saying. After a lot of persuasion, what is persuasion? Means pushing. Okay, lot of convincing, telling again and again and again the same thing. He finally agreed to go along to the new school. But this school didn't want him for the same reason. This is a school for normal boys. Now he went to so many schools and all the schools said the same thing. This is a school for normal boys. We do not keep boys who can't hear or speak. Was that fair? No, isn't it? Why don't you take your son to the school for deaf and dumb children? Asked the headmaster of the school bluntly. What is bluntly? Bluntly is something unfeelingly. You don't think how the other person will feel and just you say it. He just said bluntly without caring that why don't you take him to a school where they take deaf and dumb, huh? So his father, Avtar Narayan, was angered. He was very, very angry at that point. How can someone say like that to my son? My son is not dumb. Sir, his hearing is a little bad. He is under treatment and will soon be fine. He argued, but in vain. But in vain, that means of no use. It went for no use. He said, my son is not dumb. He is just a little deaf because he is taking medicines. He is going through treatment. And after some time, he will be good. He will be good to go. So don't say that to my son. Other schools had the same thing to say. In despair, father and son returned home. In despair, that means without finding any solution. End of the day, they were very sad. So children, I want to tell you one more thing. All these words that I am telling you, new words that you are learning with me in every chapter, please start using them in your day-to-day life. Your vocabulary, your words in your life should be big. Don't feel shy to see to a word in a dictionary. Learn more words. It will build your knowledge. It's very nice. Be it English or be any language, Hindi, Kannada, any language. Try learning more words every day. Okay? Great. Let's move on. Though Avtar Narayan felt shattered, he wouldn't give up hope. Shattered means helpless. He couldn't do anything at that point, right? After this unsuccessful expedition is a journey with a purpose where you go somewhere to find something or to do something. To the schools, Satish became very moody. Now Satish, after going through so much of disappointed, he became a little moody, you know, his moods were very bad. Sometimes he would be very happy, sometimes he would be very sad. He couldn't talk freely with anyone because he was unable to hear a single word. Now slowly his hearing capability was going completely. Now he was not able to hear at all, even little bit that he used to hear, he was not able to hear. His brother Indar sat for hours with him and talked to him. Now his brother Indar came in the picture and he started talking to him and helping him, teaching him words and pronunciation. Unable to bear the taunts and teasing of the children in the neighborhood, Satish even avoided going out to play. Now what are taunts here? Remarks intended to hurt someone's feelings. Now when he was going out to play even outside his house, everyone was teasing him and taunting him and saying bad things to him. Oh, look at him, he can't even hear and all that. So he was feeling very bad, and for that reason he was now only sitting at home. His father and Indar spent time with him every day, talking to him, trying to teach him things. If you want to get on in life, you have to read a lot. Now, if a person can't hear, he can see, isn't it? So what was the only solution? It's a beautiful solution that his father came up with. He said, Satish, now if you want to know a lot, you're not going to school. We are there for you, I know, but start reading. Now he was 8-year-old. He had already read the alphabets and he knew how to read. So he told him, read. Now also children, one more thing. Read lot of books. Yeah. Now Satish here cannot travel, correct, right now. But by reading books, he can go to the whole world. He can go to any country. He can pick up a book about any country, read about it and know the country. So by reading, you will know anything in the world. So reading is the best habit that you can create for yourself. You can learn a great deal of things just by reading, isn't it? Isn't it such a beautiful thing? So develop reading as a habit. His father told Satish, giving him an armful of books. Satish leafed through them. That means read carefully. He read all the books very carefully because that was the only thing that he liked to do that time. The Life of Garibaldi, translated into Urdu by Lala Lajpat Rai, the works of Munshi Premchand, Sarat Chandra and several others. Now who are all this? Garibaldi and Lala Lajpat Rai were freedom fighters and Munshi Premchand was a great novelist. Now his father has got him lovely books, isn't it? He's got him books of freedom fighters and also great novelist. So while reading these books, he got to know about their life and what inspired them to be like this. Why were they freedom fighters? So he was reading about these people. Isn't it beautiful? Yes. It was as if a whole world opened out for him. You can't go out of the house, right? Get the world into your house. How do you do that? Through books. Satish became a voracious reader. What is voracious? Restless. You remember one more person? We read about him. We read a chapter about him. Yes, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Do you remember? He was also a voracious reader. He read every book everywhere that you can find. So even Satish became a voracious reader. The books, however, were all serious works meant for older children and sometimes even for adults. So the books he was reading, he had already finished the books of his age. Now he was reading for older children and he was also reading books that were for adults. Wow! It's absolutely wonderful what he is doing. They made him feel depressed and left a deep impression upon his sensitive mind. Now, when you start reading about something that's not for your capability, it starts to trigger your mind also, isn't it? What is sensitive mind? His mind was tender and very responsive, right? He came to know of another world through them, a world of suffering and anguish. So with knowing good things, he also got to know that there is a lot of suffering around outside. People are suffering. There's apart from a good world, there's also a bad world, bad people around him. So he was little troubled. He brooded long and hard about why there was so much suffering in the world while his own world looked comfortable in comparison. He brooded, that means he went deeper inside it. And he read more and more about this suffering, that why was it like that? Why was the world suffering? his own house was so comfortable and he had no problems at all. So why were people suffering? Another bout of fever struck and Satish was confined to bed. So he was getting fever on and off, isn't it? So another bout of fever came, and at this point he was stuck on the bed. He couldn't move out. All he could do was sit and stare outside the window or read. He felt lonely and full of despair at his plight. So imagine at this point, like how we are. We were in lockdown period. Didn't we feel bad? Didn't we feel sad and very suffocated in lockdown in one room? You remember that time? So exactly that he felt. We at least moved out, but Satish couldn't move out at all, and he knew that for a long time he's not able to move out. So this loneliness got to him. He was feeling very lonely. He missed his friends, he missed the outer world, he missed going out and playing in the park. So here we will solve some question answers. So Satish till now has been reading a lot. That's what we have read till now. Let's solve the answers. Some words are given below. This is question number 3, children, in page 149. Okay. Some words are given below. Choose the words that reflect the feelings of Satish after Surinder left. Was he angry, miserable, disappointed, lovely, sad, surprised, elated, shocked, helpless? One example is he felt miserable. When Surinder met him and went, how was Satish feeling? So the words that reflect the feelings of Satish after Surinder left were all negative, right? Miserable, disappointed, sad, shocked and helpless. So with this we finish the second part. Let's see how Satish overcomes his difficult period. What does he do and how does he come out of it? I'll see you in the part 3 of the video.